Good afternoon, and it's a pleasure once again to come to you on Wednesday Talk at the Table. As you can see, we are out in front of one of TCDC's properties where we get to serve people by giving them quality, affordable housing and wraparound services. As I mentioned not but a few days ago in our Evening of Hope virtual fundraiser, you got a chance to hear a glimpse if you watched it of a conversation between myself and Keyshon, one of the young men who is a part of the first family that moved into one of the houses we bought, actually the first house, first family, first house. And today we're going to give you the full blown conversation. So I think you'll be not only impressed with this young man, but you'll want to come alongside and encourage him, pour into his life, and consider a donation of some way of financial support to TCDC to continue this mission so that we can continue to raise up young leaders like Keyshon. Check this conversation out via Zoom. Take care and have a wonderful Wednesday. So thank you for taking time out. I remember the days of college and how busy it can be. Sometimes professors forget that you have a life outside of the classroom. So I'm grateful you took out some time. Um, First, let's just start with, man, how is college life? How is it treating you right now?
Um, Honestly, it's been kind of, let's just say, tumultuous. A lot of moving variables, a lot of different factors. Just trying to make sure everything is as squared away as possible, good on all fronts. Um, as far as like the classes are going, it's really been more so. It's been a lot more difficult than usual in terms of like trying to make sure I'm up on everything, knowing when everything is due, just things of that nature. Because being able to go to class, you kind of puts you in that mind frame of like, okay, I'm going to class, got to do this work. I have to make sure I know everything that's going on. Oh, this assignment is due. Wait, just kind of, like
Yeah.
separate the day as the classes go. But everything's just kind of thrown together. Professors want you to still do the same amount of work, really more if you think about it, because now you have to sit and watch these lectures on your own time because you
Hmm.
don't have the actual class time. So it's really just trying to find a balance. But I think I've gotten the good plan down moving forward, so I think I should be good.
Good deal. Well, that's good. I mean, I get it. Um, you know, you trying to balance everything, and people automatically think you have more time now because you're at, quote unquote at home or in the dorm. So, with all this free time you got, let's spend a little bit of it talking from the beginning. Like, I love hearing their report, and so I want us to talk and kind of walk people up to how life got to that point. So, tell me about what was life like prior to connecting with us, our organization, Tabernacle Community Development Corporation, and and then let's go from there to what has it been like. You've you've been around not only the organization but me personally, my personal crazy. Um, what has that been like? Talk to me. Tell us what that's been like for you.
Well, prior, I know for a fact, we as a family as a whole, we were dealing with a lot of things. Um, Parent situation, the split, you know, custody battles, things of that nature. So it was pretty hard. Just trying to figure out where life was going for us. My mother was struggling, I know for a fact. So it kind of reached a point where it was for me. I knew for a fact I had to start sacrificing some things for the greater good to make sure my siblings were going to be okay. Because at that point, I knew I only had a certain amount of time left um, dealing with that, but I knew they had so much more time to go, especially with my little brother Kobe, who I'm 11 years a senior too. So it was just kind of like, at this point, what I wanted to get out of this, what I hoped it was going to be, doesn't really matter anymore because I have, these opportunities waiting for me in the future. I just have to make sure that they can see those same opportunities as well. So, I stopped playing football, something I kind of enjoyed doing, really more so just because it kept me active. And I honestly thought I, could have at least played D2, D3. But I stopped playing football. I really stopped playing sports for the most part, and just to help, my mom when she needed, clothes to go to a job interview, gas money. When she finally did manage to get a car, making sure that everybody stayed connected for the phones and just things like that. Just making sure we had what we needed so that we continue building and going in the right direction. So that when I was gone, they would be taken care of. Right in the prime of that was when we finally got connected with the tab and you. And that's when I really was able to start like relaxing, trying to take a step back because I was finally able to see like, God's got us, everything's gonna be all right. I don't have to worry as much. I started taking a step back, started to try and do a little bit more of the things that I wanted to do during high school. Couldn't get back into football though, just because of time constraints, everything moving. But I was able to, start picking up little habits here and there. I started working a different job just so that I can try and, you know, uh, try and get back to the household, try and, reward my siblings because, the journey that we had taken, still going through, was something that wasn't easy in any stretch of the
Yeah.
imagination. So, just trying to be able to here and there, like, hey, let's go to the movies, or hey, let's go out to eat. Let me get you something to eat. Let me get that for you. Just, things that we hadn't been afforded, years prior, especially, for stretches on the end where it felt like, we weren't even sure if we were going to be able to eat some nights. Um, just things like that. It was just, making sure like they actually started being able to have the kid experience again, being able to, just enjoy themselves without having to worry about where it was coming from or what's going to happen next. Um, and then I started, looking ahead, looking forward to college. And then, I wasn't too sure how that was going to go. Didn't know how that was going to look as far as, like the financial aspects. Again, you kind of came in, helped me make the decisions, talk about it a little, just kind of open my mind up to it, help me realize like, you know, you have to take some risk in order to get the opportunities later in the future. And that was with me um, doing the government loan route. And then, now I have a full ride. So that's not even something I have to worry about. Um, just being able to, have some kind of hope in the future was really just the biggest takeaway from finally being connected with you.
That so I um that's heartwarming for me because my biggest hope is when we met, I could tell the weight of the world was on your shoulders. And I know that weight from being a husband and a dad. And in my mind, I never wanted to see a young man have to carry or feel like they have to carry that weight. So to hear you say those words are everything to me. And I mean that. Um, that if I heard you right, being a part of and getting connected to as a family, the Tabernacle CDC has allowed you to dream again, where you felt like, and pretty much you said it, you put a lot of things on the shelf. Like, while I might like to do that, that's not an option right now. The
Yeah.
option is survival. How do we survive from day to day? And now being able to dream again. So leaning into that hope, because we're all about hope. And this is, about evening of hope. right? What do you think was the first thing that sparked that hope for you? Um, Being able to go, okay, I can start dreaming again. I can focus harder on my studies now. I can boost my GPA. Like, what if there's anything, what would you say would begin to ignite that hope for you?
Um, it would definitely be when we were finally relocated into the house right there on Ashland, right down the street from the tab. Um, it had been a while since we had a house of our own. Since our mom had gotten laid off, she had been having trouble trying to find a job, let alone a house. So, that was just kind of hard because I had been through that already in life, bouncing members. Um, and this time it wasn't even our own family members. It was someone that our mother knew. It was like a friend of a friend. So it was I kind of felt isolated. And then like I also felt like I was a burden upon other people, which,
Yeah,
definitely isn't a view that you should have at any point in time about anything. But that was just it kind of hit a bit closer to home because, now I'm here going into my junior year of high school and I don't even know where I'll be living and if, I'll be able to like get to school in a promptly manner. Like before we had moved into that house, we were in North County and I went to school in, the city at
yeah,
Metro. For me to get to school on time every morning, I would have to wake up at 4 a.m. Like
wow,
just having to do that and then working on the weekends too. That was a hard semester for me, but I was able to rebound after, being able to move into the home there. And it was just, I was able to breathe again, just able to like, not have to worry about like, oh, well, I can't do this, and that because I have to be home at 8 o'clock to make sure I'm in bed at 9 to get,
yeah,
I didn't have to worry about like, oh, well, I live so far away from school, I can't even stay after school so that I can get home. It was also a hard time trying to do my homework. Like I didn't have internet access where we were staying prior to that. So it was just kind of like, I can't stay after school because I have to get home on time and I don't have access to the internet at home. So what am I supposed to do? And it was just, things like that. And it really, yeah, it was definitely after we relocated that it just kind of started to click. I was able to breathe. And then once I was able to breathe, I think once we started attending services at the tab as well was when
wow. So move in, you're kind of like, okay, maybe there's going to be a change in things, how things are going. There's this spark of hope. Did at any time you ever think like, okay, is this going to last or is this going to end? Are they serious as an organization? Is Pastor Andre serious, or after a few months or a little bit, are they gonna pull the rug from under us? Did any of that ever cross your mind?
um, dealing with the things that I've dealt with in life, that was definitely a thought that I had continuously. It's one thing to take people for their word. It's another to trust what they're saying. So it was kind of hard because dealing with things up until that point in my life, like I had family members who would tell me that they were going to do one thing and then not even show up, let alone even think to give a call that they weren't going to show up. So to trust somebody that I hadn't even met before in my life was definitely something that it took some time for. But just seeing that the amount of trust and the amount of faith that my mom had in you just kind of eased me a little. It showed me like not to be as uptight or you know um sorry, I'm kind of blanking, just not to be
No,
as
that's
like
okay.
assumptive about the situation as
Yeah,
you could possibly be, just trying to take it day by day, week by week, and just being able to, after the first month, after the second month, after we sat down and had a conversation about how she was struggling at work to pay a little, and now you were willing to work with her. That was, I feel like that was eye opening. It showed me like we aren't here by ourselves. Like there's somebody actually looking out for us that cares about us, that wants to see us succeed. And that was something that really, you know, helped me relax a little bit more, definitely.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I mean, it what has always struck me about you is your level of maturity, because you really had two options. You could do what you did, which is put self on the shelf and sacrifice and jump in and help mom as much as you can, being the oldest of four. Or you could be extremely selfish and just do whatever and cause problems. And so I knew and felt within my heart, if we could help harness and give some stability and infrastructure, that it would create an environment for you to thrive. So, and thinking about that now, I look at all you just talked about, and we fast forward to packing up and getting ready to go away to college. And I look at, even before then, your willingness to always help. Hey, Pastor Andre, you need help with something over there? Let me help. And running around, as I call it, our crazy, really picking up delivery stuff, to going to college and being a 4.0 student. So I gotta ask, how has that been from senior year to end of freshman year of college, right? This flicker of hope is now growing, I would assume. And you go to school, and for lack of better words, you just kill it this first year. Like, I have to be honest, man, I'm a little jealous because I didn't get a 4.0 my first year at Mizzou. I got like a 3.5, but still, you send me them grades. I'm like, who do you think he is? Like, but in all seriousness, I was so proud, um, because I knew within my heart your capability. So, but tell me from your lens, what has that time frame, just from there, your senior year, Metro, finishing up, graduating, to the end of freshman year, and getting this 4.0 and being on the dean's list. How's that ride been for you? And has it done anything for your hope or confidence?
First and foremost, I just want to say like everything that I've done here was in no small part thanks to you. Because a lot of that journey started to college with you helping us when you did. Honestly, like I can see myself now still being stuck in St. Louis, not even have even thought about coming to Mizzou the way I did, and just being too concerned about trying to make sure that my family was okay to even think about what was next for me in the future. So I just want to thank you for that. And then I didn't get a 4.0, but it was a 3.9.
Still
But that
beating me.
was but coming in, I feel like uh having that opportunity and realizing like what had just been laid out before me, that I couldn't squander it. Like it could not be taken for granted in any sense of the manner. Like that what was put on my plate was definitely God sent, and I couldn't do anything like but do what I was supposed to do. Because if I fumbled that, it probably would have been, set me back a few years at least. But um, just coming in, doing what I was, felt like I had to do was definitely something that, I couldn't have imagined being at Metro. I graduated from Metro with a 2.9, I want to say, and like even though that's not a bad GPA for Metro, just being around all those intelligent people, all those people that like I had somebody from my class go to Harvard, I believe it was on a full ride. Like somebody else went to WashU on a full ride. Just being around those kind of people, those kind of successful people that early in life, um, it just kind of made me a bit more insecure in a way. Especially because I didn't fully understand. Like I was doing so much more than a lot of other people in my class were. I just kind of felt like it was a no excuses kind of thing, and I just kept trying to push myself, and it was like everything that I tried wasn't clicking. It just at times it almost felt like, I wanted to give up. But then, every time I had that thought, something else would push me, pick me up along the way. Um, just trying to make the best out of the situation, and, finally being able to graduate. That was something else that I also had struggled with. I honestly at times didn't feel like I was going to see that through at Metro. Um, Finally graduating from there was like a breath of fresh air, a pick me up, a relief. And then having the summer before school started, and then being able to get right into it, it was definitely like that sequence of events. I don't think I could have imagined anything better, in order to start off college and the college experience, for my education. That I was able to completely envelop myself in the educational environment that I wanted to make sure that I was doing the best I could, because I was able to, I didn't have to worry about what was going on back home anymore. I didn't have to think about where am I going to work so I can send some money back. Um, at that point, everyone was doing okay. Everyone was fine, as they could be in the moment. It was that situation definitely could not have gone better for the circumstances that we were
Wow. So here's kind of the last thing I want to throw out or ask. Um, you've come, you graduate high school, you at Mizzou, doing well academically. As a result of that, now talk to us about what you're involved in now. What opportunities or doors opened? And again, I related back to from that, as you mentioned, it's a lot of this anchors in the word hope. What has this now going forward from ending freshman year to the different opportunities you've had throughout your freshman year to where you are in your sophomore year and what you're doing now, that covers, residential life. Talk to us about that. What is that like, and what does that do for you as a person?
Well, definitely after that opening freshman year, I feel like a lot of opportunities have been opened up to me. One thing I was involved with, my freshman year that I'm now a peer mentor of, is the Mizzou Black Men's Initiative, which is also another thing that I really felt like, really helped me transition here to campus and get used to what campus life would be like and how best to succeed. Um, that was really just something that, like, I felt like, had it not been there for me, maybe would have been a bit more difficult of a transition, but it definitely helped smooth it over, helped, me to like make a few more connections than I probably would have otherwise on campus.
Yeah.
Get to know people in the similar boat as me, because there's no hiding it. Mizzou is definitely a PWI. So, like being able to find other Black men here on campus that, have come from similar struggles as me, similar backgrounds as me, was definitely a relief. So being able to come back as a peer mentor for that program now is definitely something that, I don't take for granted at all, because I know the importance of it. Having been in their shoes at one point in time, I know how, relieving it can be to just have those resources of people to open up to when need be. So, those things I won't take for granted at all. But MBMI is definitely up there in terms of like what I think I'm doing that's most important here on campus. So as you know, I'm also an RA here. I started that actually during my freshman year. I didn't even know that I could do it then. It was the spring semester, so I didn't know that I as a freshman was able to do so. But I got it, and that also helped me with being able to afford college and just being able to continue on the correct path of you know pushing ahead, trying to build community wherever I go, trying to make sure people feel welcome, and just trying to allow people to feel like if they don't know what's going on, or if they have any troubles at all, that they have somebody to come talk to, so that I can, kind of extend the hope that I was given to me from you, to try and, help everybody see, that there is a way through, even when it doesn't seem like it. And, as RAs, we get a lot of the brunt of this stuff. So,
Yeah.
people come to us, talk about those kind of things. So that's definitely something, I take very seriously as well. And then I'm also a United Ambassador, which is, a part of the recruitment team, the diversity recruitment team for the university, just to make sure like the underrepresented groups are, at least seeing people that look like them when we go to different places to try to recruit, especially in St. Louis and Kansas City. Um, this is all an effort to just try and make sure like, people are comfortable coming here. Because, a lot of kids don't have many other options when it go as far as schooling goes,
Yeah.
especially if they're from Missouri. So this is probably the cheapest option for them. And if not community college. So, like they may have their worries about coming here because again, Mizzou is a primarily white institution. So trying to show them like, hey, you can come here, you can be successful, you can feel comfortable, you can build your own community. You don't have to
Yeah.
assimilate or conform to the norms, as some people would say. You can come here and be you, and that's just okay. That's exactly what we're looking for. Was also something that I like to do. We didn't actually get to see it to the end though, because we didn't have to have our cool end event due to COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the few panels that I was able to do, I felt like I was actually, making a difference when students came up and asked me questions afterwards. It was definitely something that, I felt accomplished in doing. It was, you know, affirmation that I was, making those changes, allowing people to, you know, because curiosity is like the gateway to a lot of things. And once they are curious about coming here, it opens them to doing their own discovery. And even if they don't come here, it's just the fact that you know, they are curious enough to now see what they want out of a school and then go find that in the school and then, be comfortable where they are. So I'm just happy to be a part of somebody else's journey in any form or manner. And that's definitely one of the aspects that I enjoy about it.
That's all awesome, man. I'm to say I'm proud is an understatement. I would say I'm encouraged by and inspired by what you're doing, knowing your story. I'm grateful that you feel comfortable talking to me and knowing how things have gone and how trusting a male figure giving background for you isn't the easiest thing. So thank you for that trust. I don't take that lightly. I want you to try 30 seconds. If you would want to leave people with anything tonight, who are part of Evening of Hope viewing it, what would you want them to know or what would you want to say?
I definitely feel like as far as the tab goes in the St. Louis community, it shouldn't be overlooked. And especially with the plans that you have coming forward for the tab and everything that's being developed. Um, like it's inspiring to see. Like you definitely inspired me to, think about ways to come back and help the St. Louis community in any way possible. Um, Given that we are kind of on our own, the Black community in St. Louis, especially down in the city, there's nobody really looking out for us but us. So um, definitely inspired me in a way to come back and help. So really, if I want anybody else to know anything, it's just try and do what you can. And even if it's not a lot, just know that it is meaningful to someone somewhere. Um, you may feel like you're not doing anything at all. For somebody else, it may feel like you just gave them the entire world. Um, so just no action is too small, no action is too great for for you to make someone's day, someone's life. Um, Really, that's pretty much about it. Like you have inspired me to take a route. I'm now somewhat interested in politics, even though I'm studying accounting and economics. If I am able to become a representative or a senator, I, St. Louis is definitely, especially St. Louis City and the Black community, is definitely somebody that the best to help our community because I see that it's able to be done through people like you.
Wow. Thank you, man. Um, thank you. In this interview, I think you have, if nothing else, giving me another boost, another round of hope to keep doing what we do. So Thank you for your sincerity, your words, and we're gonna let you get back to college life, and we'll be checking back in. Again, thank you for the time, and we'll catch up some more later.
No problem. Anytime.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right.